The alcohol industry is pretending they're being responsible, but they're not. They know what we know. If they get kids started by the time they're in their teens, they're hooked for life. According to a recent report by the American Medical Association, the alcohol industry spends more than $4.8 billion a year in the United States, or the equivalent of $13 million per day in advertising. By comparison, $70.5 million is spent on milk ads per year, 70.5. The entire 2005 budget of National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism was $442 million, so we're having a tough time competing with $4.8 billion. There's a high level of alcohol product placement in PG and PG-13 movies and TV shows, particularly with teens. Don't think that's a mistake. It's not a mistake. An Oxford or accident, or just perhaps a chance. An Oxford Brooks University Review, published in 2009, reviewed data from 7 studies published over the past decade on the issue of the impact of product placement in television and movie advertising on teens. It concluded that, and I quote, data from prospective cohort studies suggest there is an association between exposure to alcohol advertising or promotional activity and subsequent alcohol consumption in young people. It's not an accident. And according to the Center on Alcohol Marketing in Youth, Hispanic youth, ages 12 to 20, often saw and heard even more alcohol advertising per capita than young people in their age group in general. Marketing to youth and our fastest growing ethnic population provides, to me anyway, more evidence that the alcohol industry knows exactly what they're doing because they know how to place their advertising. They know what the market is out there. Now, kids particularly are vulnerable to marketing when it comes to clothes, shoes, and CDs. And music, they feel they have to have them because their friends do. Basically, marketers are playing on kids' self-esteem. The age group where the pressure is the strongest to fit in, particularly with clothes, is the 12 to 13-year-olds. Big business starts cultivating consumers at a very early age, and the alcohol industry is absolutely no exception. Now, question for you. How old are children when they first recognize brand name merchandise? How old do you think they are? Anybody? How old? You've read the same stuff, you know? 4 years old. 4 years old. Let's go to McDonald's. Anybody ever heard that? No? Okay, 4 years old. C.A. Tucker, Vice President of Marketing at R.J. Reynolds back in 1974. You know, the company that kept saying they weren't doing what they were doing, acknowledged the company, and I quote, targeted to 14 to 24-year-olds. Now, they followed up with cartoon character Joe Camel. Teen smoking of Camel cigarettes, after they came out with their directed marketing, teen smoking of Camel cigarettes went from 3% to 30% in 18 months. 18 months. So we all know that Joe Camel was killed a long time ago, but not before the damage was done. The new Joe Camel seems to be alcohol energy drinks, like the raspberry-flavored Tilt, made by Anheuser-Busch, and the orange-flavored Sparks, made by Miller Coors. Neither Tilt nor Sparks, by the way, are sold in Washington State in their alcoholic form, but 2 others, Four Loko, 11% alcohol, and Juice, 9 to 12% alcohol, are both widely sold here. It's also popular for kids to add alcohol to non-alcoholic energy drinks, like you could buy at any 7-Eleven, to make their own so-called, what we call alcohol pops. Now, according to a study published just last month at the University of Florida, college-age drinkers who swill alcohol energy drink cocktails are 3 times more likely than alcohol-only drinkers to leave a bar drunk. Liquor Control Board last year passed, in the state of Washington, passed a policy against the marketing of energy drinks at their state stores. The legislation that banning the sale of alcohol-laced energy drinks passed the House of Representatives this year, but has not passed the Senate as of yet. It probably won't this session, but hopefully it'll be back next session. So the spirit of Joe Camel is alive and well in these, just in a different form. It's in the form of alcohol pops now. Meanwhile, the alcohol industry insists it is absolutely not marketing to kids, that the appeal of their products to youth is purely unintentional. The industry claims to follow a voluntary code of conduct regarding its advertising. The Center on Alcohol Marketing and Use study at Georgetown University shows both of these statements to be absolutely bogus. So let's take a closer look at the voluntary rules of conduct set forth by the Distilled Spirits Council of the United States, also known as DISCUS, and the Beer Institute, which are both associations of alcohol producers. Voluntary conduct. Here's some examples of what's been happening out there in advertising land. The language is right out of the industry guidelines. I'm not making this up. Quote, no distilled spirits advertising or marketing material should contain advertising copy or an illustration unless it's dignified, modest, and in good taste. That's their words. We all agree these ads are very tasteful. Very tasteful ads, okay? Another example. No distilled spirits advertising or marketing materials should claim or depict sexual prowess as a result of beverage alcohol consumption. Okay? Right out of their own advertising. Okay? So, not here, of course. Studies conducted earlier this decade showed that youth were 170 times more likely to see an ad promoting alcohol than an industry ad discouraging from driving. Youth were 93 times more likely to see an ad promoting alcohol than an industry ad discouraging underage drinking. Adults saw twice as many of the ads discouraging underage drinking as youth did. So are they really trying to reach kids? I mean, they buy the best marketing people in the world. They have all the research on where the marketing, who the marketing, what television programs appeals to what age group, which movies appeals to which age group, which books appeals to which age group. They know this. They got the best people in the world, yet look at the statistics. They're not reaching as many kids as they are adults. You think it's an accident? In their so-called efforts to tell kids not to drink. Don't drink. No, that's not an accident. The advertising that actually influences kids to drink is reaching them, the other is not. So I think maybe they just want to be able to say we tried. Maybe that's what it is. But maybe we need to have an I don't care about kids rule. I believe that state liquor control boards and other entities need to come out with a rating that says you're not being responsible. I think that would be an incredible thing for us to have. Liquor boards and other state enforcement agencies need to be vocal about advertisements that target youth. I applaud our state's liquor control board for its recent actions on restricting signage in front of storefronts, near playgrounds, and at community events. But we can go a lot further. Let's look at the really outrageous ads and continue to make noise about them. Say something about them. Let's make the public aware of the assault on their kids. It's worked in other places that we've gone to and we've brought it up. The good news is regular alcohol and drug use among teens declined between 1998 and 2008, thanks to parental involvement, high-profile media campaigns. But the bad news is that the trend reversed for the first time in 2009. It started back up. It got back up there yet, but it started back up again. According to that, by the way, that's according to the Partnership for a Drug-Free America. Some media organizations themselves are leading the way by taking more responsibility for ad content. Hooray for newspapers like the Wenatchee World, which limits alcohol placement to advertisements where it includes only a mixture of other products, like, for instance, grocery ads. Publisher Rufus Woods from the Wenatchee World said, and I quote, "Accountability seems to be in short supply these days on the business front. As businesses have gone global and consolidation has occurred, the pressures of Wall Street have made it easy for corporations to view their responsibilities as solely financial. When money's the only thing that's important, then business has no soul. There's got to be more to life than that."